Next, I thought we would have some fun and do some finale predictions. I would love to hear any predictions you have about the finale of Picard, and I guess for the Next Generation crew. My first prediction for the finale is kind of an easy one, which is that Jack has a plan. And the reason I say this is because I saw a lot of people online question Jack's motivations towards the end of the 9th episode. Like, why did he just go find the Borg Queen? Was he already assimilated at that point? You know, was she using a signal to bring him back? She was doing something, you know, Jack could hear her voice and that whole door and all that kind of stuff. But I think that Jack actually has a plan, and that he went after the Queen because he thinks that he's going to be able to beat the Borg Queen. I don't know why he thinks that he alone has the power to defeat the Borg Queen. I mean, he just got these powers himself. He just understands them. So I don't know why he thinks he can do it, but he does have a line in the 9th episode.
Jack, what is this?
Futility.
Which is obviously referencing the infamous Borg quote,
"Resistance is futile."
So if he's saying what he's doing is futility, then he is forming some kind of resistance. So he, at least in his mind, he is going to attack the Borg Queen head on and somehow take her out. I don't know how he believes that he'll be able to do it, but I do not think that he was just assimilated. I don't think that he was just going to her because he was compelled to. I think that he has a plan that he thinks will work. I don't know that it will, but I think that that's the point there. We're going to see him kind of enact whatever his plan is, and we'll see Jack go head to head with the Borg Queen. And my next prediction is that we will see a new type of Borg Queen played by Alice Krige. Obviously, there's a reason why we didn't see her face in the 9th episode. We just kind of saw her from behind, and it's kind of ambiguous as to the fact of if she is the face that Vadic was communicating with. You know, that voice was kind of a masculine voice, I thought. So maybe her voice was being changed purposely so we didn't see the Borg Queen reveal coming. But I don't know. I don't know if there's like another character that we haven't seen yet. I wouldn't be surprised if there is like a new thing that we have not seen yet that kind of ties to the face that Vadic was speaking with. Because if that was supposed to be the Borg Queen, okay, but I really think if that was the case, then we would have seen her face in the scene that we saw them together in the 9th episode. So I don't know what's going on with Alice Krige as the Borg Queen, but I think that we are going to see a new type of Borg Queen in the finale, and that's why they brought Alice Krige back. I hope they do mention, you know, Vadic and who Vadic was communicating with, and if that was the Borg Queen, because I don't think that that was evident to me. But let me know in the comments if you maybe saw something online that contradicts that. But I'm still not sure that the Borg Queen was the face that Vadic was communicating with. So hopefully we get some resolution to that, and we see some type of new Borg Queen in the finale. The next thing that I think will happen, and I really hope this happens, and I'm going to be really disappointed if it doesn't, is that I think we are going to see the Enterprise D face off against the Enterprise F. There was just too many comments made at the end of that episode about the weapon systems on the D. Worf made at least one, if not two, and then LaForge plainly stated that they would be loading torpedoes into the Enterprise D, and that, you know, Worf would have, you know, weapons for the Enterprise D. So I think that that's all too much on the nose. I think that we are going to see the Enterprise D face off against the Enterprise F, and the Enterprise D win in some kind of tricky way that, you know, the old ship always does. We've seen that many times before. We saw the Reliant versus the Enterprise, and then the Excelsior sort of versus the Enterprise when Scotty, you know, sabotaged that one. So I think that we're going to see something like that. I think we're going to see the Enterprise D face off against the Enterprise F. That's probably why we didn't get the Enterprise E in the season, and we got the Enterprise F, because if you had the D versus the E, you just have like Hulk Hogan versus Randy Savage. You know, you got two baby faces going against each other, and it doesn't work that way. If anybody knows pro wrestling, it doesn't work. Nobody wants to see two heels or two baby faces going against each other, and I think that that's what would happen if we had the Enterprise D versus the E. So that's why they eliminated the E from the series, and we're going to get the F versus the D, because less people, of course, will be cheering for the... Nobody's going to be cheering for the F. Everybody's going to be cheering for the Enterprise D. So I think that we will see the Enterprise D versus the Enterprise F in the finale. And then my final prediction for the finale, and I kind of threw this one out there in my breakdown as well, I think that we will see Will Wheaton return as Wesley That is harder to say than you would think. That took me 3 tries for some reason. But I think we will see him return. I'm not going to say his name again or the character. He returned last season, and we know that Wil Wheaton is available. I mean, pretty much anything that Star Trek has going, Wil Wheaton shows up. I mean, I think if Star Trek had toys come out and Happy Meals, Wil Wheaton would show up at McDonald's and serve you the Happy Meal. He's just everywhere that Star Trek is, you know. I really would not be surprised if we see Wesley return. I mean, we're talking about his half-brother, right? Jack Crusher is his half-brother. He's the main part of the season. His mom has been a big part of the season. He's now got like a cool, like, half-stepdad, you know, in Picard that he's had his own adventures with. I think, really, if Wil Wheaton doesn't return, I think it would be a waste. I don't know why they wouldn't bring him back, and I think that it would be a loss if they didn't. So those are my 4 predictions, that Jack has a plan, that he's not just assimilated, that he does think that he can take on the Borg Queen. My second prediction is that we will see a new type of Borg Queen played by Alice Krige, and that's why we did not see her in the 9th episode. I think that for sure we will see the Enterprise D versus the Enterprise F, and that's why the Enterprise E is not in this season, and the Enterprise F is substituting for that ship. And then finally, I think that Wil Wheaton will return as Wesley. That only took me 2 times that time. But yeah, I think that those are my predictions for the finale. But I would love to hear your predictions for the finale, so let me know those down in the comments below. Hey everyone, Eric here. Thanks for joining me, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. This was taken from my weekly podcast, WDIM News, which you can catch each Monday on this channel. If you would like to check out the full podcast, you can do so by clicking on this video here. Make sure that you not only hit the like button to help support me, but also hit the subscribe button so that you know when my new videos come out. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you next time on What Did I Miss?